Hello, this is Geometry, topic 1-2 on solving equations and inequalities. Again, I'm also giving this video to my algebra classes toward the end of the year as it reviews everything for algebra. Today we're just going to talk about solving equations and inequalities. So, here we have a very long equation. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line down the equal sign, and let's go ahead and start trying to break this down. Well, this -2 needs to get distributed, and this +3 needs to get distributed, and this negative sign needs to get distributed. So when I do all that, I get that 5p minus 2p minus 2 plus 3p minus 6 equals 3 minus p minus 2. And now I go about combining similar terms. So I've got a 5p minus 2p plus 3p is 5, 6, 7, 8 minus 2 is 4p. I've got a -2 and a -6 make -8. Over here I've got a 3 minus 2 makes a 1 minus p. Well, now that I've got everything simple down on both sides, I'm going to get all of my p's to one side. I don't like negative p's, so I'm going to go ahead and just add p to both sides. That's going to give me 5p minus 8 equals 1. Well, let's go ahead and get rid of this 8 by adding it. So we get that 5p equals 9. We need to get p by itself, so we divide both sides by 5, and we get that p equals 9/5. Oh, and I made an error because I was moving a little too quickly, because this fraction doesn't seem like a number answer I should have gotten. So I was looking back and I noticed that I forgot to do 3 times 6. Well, 3 times 6 is not 6. 3 times 6 is 18. So this is not minus 8, it's minus 20. So that means that this means we need to add 20. Is -2 minus 18 is a -20. So I have 21 divided by 5. And we get that p equals 4.2. Again, I apologize for the error. Sometimes just get rushing through and make mistakes. One way you could check it is you could plug this answer into every p, see what you get on this side, and then this p, see what you get on this side, and see if you get the correct answer. Well, let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Well, when you take this 2/3 and distribute it, the 4 and distribute it. Well, 2/3 times 6 is 4x minus 2/3 times 12 is 8. That equals 8x plus 4 times 1 is 4. Double check, make sure I actually did my distributing this time. I did. Let me move my x's to one side, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 4x from both sides. I get that -8 equals 4x plus 4. We subtract 4 from both sides, we get that 4x equals a negative 12. And when we divide by 4, we get that negative 3 equals x. On to example number 3. Again, we have lots of distributing here. This 2 needs to get distributed. The negative 3 needs to get distributed. And this positive 3 needs to get distributed. So this becomes 2x plus 12 minus 3x plus 3 equals 3x plus 3. Combine our similar terms. 2x minus 3x is a negative x. Positive 12 plus 3 make a positive 15. That equals 3x plus 3. Get all of my x's to one side. I have 15 equals 4x plus 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. We get that 12 equals 4x divided by 4, and we get that x equals 3. Distribute, combine, move x's to one side, move other numbers to the other side, divide by the number in front of x. Consistent pattern for solving all of these problems. Example number 4. Here we have inequalities. Well, we solve inequalities much the same way we solve equalities. However, I always want my x to be on the left. That's going to make graphing these a lot easier. So, I need to move all my x's over, so I'm going to subtract 3x. That gives me a negative x minus 3 is less than 7. Now, I know I said I don't normally like dealing with negative x's. However, because it's an inequality, I'm going to prefer my x's to be on the left. Well, now I add 3 to both sides, and I get that negative x is less than 10. Well, if negative x is less than 10, then x, positive x, is going to relate to a negative 10. Now here's the thing. Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number, whenever you change the sign from negative to positive, you have to flip your sign. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to put negative 10, 0, and 10. Just so I've got 0 and I've got my 10. Well, it's greater than 10, so I'm going to go ahead and circle 10. But I'm not going to color it in because there's no equal bar. Now I need to be x greater than 10, so I'm going to shade the right-hand side of my line. Now the reason I put x always on the left is because if you put x on the left, your arrow points the same direction. Let's go ahead and solve number 5. We start off by distributing. We get 8 minus 2d minus 5d is greater than 8. Well, I've got a negative 2d, a negative 5d, which add up to a negative 7d, greater than 8. We subtract 8 from both sides. We get that a negative 7d is greater than 0. Now we divide by a negative 7. And we get that d is less than 0. Again, because I divided by a negative number, I had to flip my sign. So I'm going to put 0 on the line. I don't have any other numbers, so I'm just going to go ahead and circle it. And my graph goes the same direction as my arrow. Moving on to number 6. Okay, we want to move all of our a's to one side, so I'm going to subtract 4a. We'll Well, those cancel, leaving you with a 6 is greater than or equal to 7. Well, this is a false statement. And so, because it is false, there is no solution. Let's move on to example number 7. We have to start off by distributing, so 3a minus 1 less than or equal to 3a plus 3. We want to move our a's to the left, so I subtract 3a from both sides. And I get that negative 1 is less than or equal to 3. Well, this is a true statement. I'm going to go ahead and put my 0. And we're going to shade the whole line because it is all real numbers. And so that is topic 1-2. It's fairly simple. Hopefully this is not terribly difficult for you, and you'll be able to get through this assignment easily. Good luck and have a good day.